So very good afternoon, sir. Central, sir. So very good afternoon, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, the conference is going on another link, sir.
Yeah, I'm on that. Just I wanted to check this. That's why I just logged in.
Is conference is going. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir, conference is going on another link, sir. Please join in that link. User ID is CR117. Please join other link, sir.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Much audible.
So can we start?
Wait. Let the host speak for a while.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good afternoon. Welcome back to the paper presentation session. We will start the first participant. Suleiman. We will follow as per the schedule. Title.
25 minutes.
We will start the first participant. First participant by Suleiman. The title of the paper, Indian National Education Policy, NEP 20. Ready, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon,
sir.
everybody.
Yes, yes.
So, we've already used 7 minutes out of the time. I will try to cut it down as much as possible. Good afternoon. I am Suleiman Adebayo. I'm a research student at Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, India. Today, I'll be presenting our work on the Indian National Education Policy 2020. Is my slide visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is visible. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I'll be starting with the introduction of the National Education Policy, not about India alone, but in other countries as well. The education sector is one of the most important sector of any country, and this determines the reputation of the country. Like the way the education sector is being structured will determine how the global view of the country will be. So NEP is required to maintain this structure. The country needs the education sector to maintain its reputation, to grow its industry, and there's the need of the NEP to maintain the education sector. The Indian education sector in particular is not the first one. There are some predecessors of the 2020 NEPs. We started from the 1968 NEP, we have in 1986, which was later modified in 1992. Before we are here today, talking about the 2020 NEP. Since there are some NEP on ground, as I said now, like we have 1968, we have the 1986, and the 1992, obviously. Though the 1982 NEP is just a modification of the 1986. Since we have all this on ground, why do we need new NEP? The need for 2020 NEP was a necessity because during the time the NEP was initiated, the country old structure was experiencing a very great transformation of the country. Other sector of the country was experiencing a technological transformation. That is why the NEP 2020 focused more on the technologically driven education. It started from the first draft of the NEP, which started in 2019. That is why the data set for this research started from 2019 instead of 2020, because the first draft of the NEP was in 2019. After the first draft, it was made up of the 436 pages. That was actually a very bulky document. It was 436 pages. That was the first draft of the NEP. Then the first draft was presented to the general public to seek their opinion, their suggestion, and their critics, because there are some critics as well. So that is the second stage, the public view, before we arrive at the final draft. The final draft is 62 pages as compared to the 400 plus pages. So that is a lot of cut down on the final draft to the first draft. So the final draft itself adopted some important suggestions whereby it dropped some controversial suggestion. Example of the ones that was adopted is the acceptance of the proposal for the NTA, the National Testing Agency, as the
Suleiman garu.
Okay.
Maybe he having some network issues, sir.
I think we lost connection with him. Might be network issue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's
Yes.
wait for a couple of
We
minutes.
will wait for 1 minute, sir.
Sure, sure.
Yes, yes. BL Prakash garu. BL Prakash garu. Hello, BL Prakash garu.
Am I audible to you, madam? Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, welcome to the session, sir. Thank you. Thank you for accepting the invitation, sir.
thank you, madam.
And also thank you for the all the internal members. Yes, sir. Participant is ready now.
Sulaiman, we are unable to listen to you. Unmute please yourself.
Madam, you message him, madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, he
He's
has to
having some
unmute
network issue,
himself.
sir.
We are unable to listen to him.
Yes, sir. Yes. Suleiman. Suleiman. Suleiman.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, now
Yes,
it's
yes,
okay, fine.
yes.
Please go ahead.
Oh, it was the. Can you see my slide now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, yes. Please carry on.
Okay, you can see my second slide. The second slide, the introduction. Is it visible now?
Yes, please.
Yes, it is
Okay, yeah,
visible.
that's
Please
good.
carry on.
Okay. So sorry about that. That is the tech part. So I was discussing about the predecessors of the 2020 NEP, that is the 1968, the 1986, which was modified in 1992. Then before we are here today for the 2020 NEP, then the need of the NEP, the all other sectors of the country, not only the education sector, were experiencing a technological transformation. So that is why the education sector must not be left out. Then we arrived at the first draft of the NEP 2020, which happened in 2019. That is why our data set for this study covers from 2019 till date. Then the first draft was released to the general public for their opinions and contributions. The final draft, which was only 62 pages, as compared to the first draft, which was 300 pages, 436. That was like a lot of cuts down. Aim and objectives of this study. So this paper, we aim to evaluate the study published by scholars relating to 2020 NEP since 2019 till date. We performed a scientometric analysis of the study. Then our objectives includes to identify the most prolific authors, that the high contributing authors, the high contributing organizations, and country collaborations and contribution. Before we run down to the keyword analysis. Related work. Since the first draft of the 2020 NEP, that was 2019, since 2019, there have been a lot of publications related to the 2020 NEP. There are a lot of
Hello, sir.
analysis. Yes, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yeah, please continue.
Okay, I
Yes,
thought
you are audible. Please carry on.
Okay. So since the first draft was released, that was in 2019, there have been lots of publications by different scholars. A lot of them, they were just contributing their intellectual property to the NEP, the document itself, and a lot of things happening around it. The first one we observe here is the study by Kumawat, which highlights the various policies of the NEP compared to the one that has already been on ground, like the system already on ground. What are the differences between that system and the ones that the 2020 NEP is trying to bring for us? Then the study also discussed the implications, part of the implications of the NEP. One major implications of the NEP that was underlined by this particular study by Kumawat was the striking out of the Mandarin language. The Mandarin is not Chinese accent, uh, not Chinese dialects, sorry. So it was struck out from the NEP. This study by Kumawa believed this striking out of this language will put Indian students at a disadvantage in the global market because the Chinese is holding the highest population in the world. So having an Indian student learn those kind of language will be a great advantage to them in the global market, especially the Asia market. So this study be like, this is one of the implications of this NEP 2020. We have another study by Seni Igor, which analyzed the tweet related to NEP 2020 to extract the critics by the citizens. This study established that majority of the citizens were showing negative impact, negative attitude to this NEP at the initial stage because it's actually a new thing. There is something the student, the general public, the citizens are used to. A typical example of this is the 10+2 system. Everybody is used to that, but this new NEP is proposing another system of 4+3+3+5. So people are not actually ready at the initial stage. So they are showing some negative contributions to the NEP at the initial stage. But after some time, it gets better, and the public, the citizens, they are making peace with the fact that there's a new NEP that we drive this education system of the country. The last study that was examined in this review is the study by Panda, which examined the teachers' education competencies. This particular study brings out a very important positive point of the 2020 NEP. That is, it puts the round peg in the round hole. The decision-making policy positions will be given to only the highly qualified individual. So this is a plus. This is something that will help the education sector as a whole. Then, going about our analysis, we perform a scientometric analysis of the 2020 NEP. So the scientometric analysis is not particular to the field of NEP alone. There are a lot of other domains that have experienced a scientometric analysis by different scholars. Just few of them were highlighted here. We have the one by the cloud computing, the regenerative medicine, offsite construction, mobile tech, among others that were identified to perform a scientometric analysis of that domain, of the research work, of the scholarly articles that were published in that domain. The methodology of our study, the main data source for this analysis is Scopus. Scopus is a database that holds the bibliometric data set. It was a bibliometric data set. If we don't pick Scopus, we could have used Google Scholar or Web of Science. But why do we take Scopus? Because that is a big question. Why do we choose Scopus? Apart from being a bibliometric data set database, it also a control data set. It's a control database which holds some kind of regulated data set, not just any data set. And it covers more content as compared to the Web of Science. There is a particular study that identified that more than 99% of the studies that were covered by Web of Science is also available on the Scopus. And it gives more flexibility when you are trying to the search pattern. We can search by date, by article, by keywords. A lot of flexibility in the search pattern. Unlike the Google Scholar doesn't allow the downloading of multiple content at the same time. So that is why we go for Scopus. The data collection and processing. After identified Scopus as our major database, then we have the search query from Scopus, that is the Indian National Education Policy that was published after 2018. As I said earlier, our data set covers from 2019 instead of 2020 because the first draft of the NFP was released in 2019. So scholarly articles about this 2020 NFP started since 2019, and the time span covers in this data set is from January 2019 to February 2022, which we retrieved a total of 147 articles. And our articles was downloaded in two formats. The reason why we download it in two formats will be explained later. In CSV file, that is the comma separated files, and the big text file. The tools we use, we employ two major tools. We have the VOS Viewer and the Arc Studio, the bibliometrics library of the Arc Studio software. The VOS Viewer is a visualization tool, and it's free and easy to use. It has more user-friendly design. The GUI, the graphic user interface, it's very good and easy to use, and it's flexible too. According to the data set, that any data set, for example, now our own data set is just like very small compared to other data sets for performing cytometric analysis. That is because of the nature of the time span covered in the study. And we have the bibliometrics tool, which allow us to give more insightful analysis, especially when it is combined with other tools. And it has another sub-library. The bibliometrics library has another sub-library that is a bibliosigning library. It has another sub-library, which is the bibliosigning library for analysis. Now, our results, the identified results. The first one is the most prolific authors. That is, who are the people, who are the scholars that are making contributions to the literature relating to NEP, Indian NEP 2020 since 2019 till date. We identified 273 authors, out of which 154 was selected by filtering it down. We filter it down by selecting authors that has minimum of one number of documents and one citation count. Citation count is the people that have cited the publication before. We see voucher, which has 55 citation counts and 3 link strengths. The link strength implies that the collaboration between the author and other authors, that is the link strength. And we have the Kumal, which has 17 link strengths and 7 citation counts. That is, it has more collaborations with other authors compared to the first authors that were identified. So a total of 154 authors were identified for making this this network graph. The network map was made by the VOS Viewer, a tool I mentioned earlier. This graph was made by VOS Viewer. We have the top contributing organizations. We have 233 organizations that has contributed to the NEP domain in 2020 Indian NEP domain since 2019 till date. The contributions by organizations are literally low. Majority of the organizations, they were having 2-3 contributions. That's why in our analysis we rank the organizations by their link strength. That is their collaboration with other organizations. From simple analysis now, our total data set is 147 documents, and we have 233 organizations. So there are a lot of collaborations between different organizations. This is a network map that was generated by using VOS viewer to represent the organization's collaborations and the contributions made by them. Then we have the country contribution, as expected, which is justifiable and feasible. That India will have the highest contribution of the NEP paper. Then we have the US and the UK, Australia, Canada having contributions to, apart from the authors from India. This contribution implies that the authors from those countries, so we have authors from India authored almost 100 out of the 147 documents. Then we have the UK, US, Australia, Canada, France, Malaysia having other contributions. We have Nigeria to be only country from the African region that has a very minimum contributions to the 2020 Indian NEP. The country collaboration. The country collaboration implies the contribution made by authors from different countries. That is, authors from India and authors from US, they collaborated together to make a study. So the highest collaboration that was identified here is by India and the US, which was 8 documents. 8 documents were co-authored by scholars from India and the US. The second tools I mentioned earlier, the bibliometrics library, the R Studio, was used to generate this heat map to show the collaborations between different countries. You can see India has collaborations with almost all the countries that make contributions here, which is expected and justifiable. But apart from that, we have some other collaborations too, like from the US to some European countries. There are up to 3-4 collaborations between them. Then there is a collaboration between Nigeria and Australia. So this is showing the whole collaboration map at a glance. The keyword analysis. Talking about the keyword analysis, we have India. India as a word. It's at 11% of the total keyword that was generated. Then we have female, human, male, adult. This keyword analysis map was generated by VOS viewer. I hope I'm... This keyword analysis map was generated by the VOS viewer. It's showing, we have the nodes there, the nodes like the small cycle, that is the node. It's showing the keyword itself. Then we have the edges. The edges is the lines, like a thread. The lines are showing the collaborations or relationships between one or more keywords. That is the co-occurrence of the keyword with each other, usage of one keyword to another. For example, if you have India plus human now, so there will be an edge from that keyword to the another one. In conclusion, the India NEP 2020, as I mentioned earlier, was necessitated by the technological transformation in the country that was happening in the country. That is why the NEP focused more on technologically driven education. Now, the NEP is at the implementation stage. Implementation started with the passage of the NEP itself. That is, the first implementation that was experienced was the changing of the MHR, the Minister of Human Resource Development, to Ministry of Education. That was the first implementation, and that itself was passed alongside with the passage of this NEP in 2020. A lot of scholars, even this hello? Am I audible?
Please, you continue.
Okay, I guess someone was talking to me on that
Please
one.
go ahead.
Okay. So a lot of scholars have identified that this 2020 NEP is enough. This 2020 NEP is enough to put the Indian education sector at the global spotlight. But it's not going to put Indian education sector at the global spotlight without the proper implementation. Like,
Okay, thank you, Solomon.
so it has the capacity to put the education sector at the global spotlight. Thank you so much. I will welcome some questions if there is any or some feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes. Any questions, sir?
I have one question, madam. Mr. Suleiman, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
So your paper is actually on the education policy, no?
Yes.
Indian National Education Policy.
Yes.
But the content what you have delivered is not at all related to the education policy, but you have only quoted all the scopus and all everything. I don't think that it is much related to the topic what you have chosen.
No. What was here is this study examines the publication trends that is related to the education policy. That how many authors are publishing anything related to the education policy? What are the trends? How many people are trying to publish every year anything that's related to the NEP? There's a study called scientometric analysis. That is what we perform to see the trends and the collaborations between authors and countries and organizations on anything that is related to the NEP 2020. That is what we presented, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Any questions, sir?
So, any questions from audience, other audience?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, Suleiman.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So we'll continue the next participant.
Yes, sir. Jagan Mohan Rao, sir. Jagan Mohan Rao garu. Sir, welcome, sir. Sir, welcome, sir. Welcome to the paper presentation section. To accept our invitation and act as a judge.
Hello.
We will proceed for the next paper.
Hello.
Sir.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Sir, am I audible?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I am not able to hear you all.
Sir, am I audible?
I am not at
Hello?
all able to hear you all.
I think you can unmute, sir. I think in your process you can unmute.
Yeah, please carry on, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. We will proceed for the next participant. The next participant, Dr. The others are Dr. Balaji, Dr. R. Malati, Senthil Kumar from Oman. The paper title Student Centered Remote Learning Skill. Senthil Kumar Garu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, sir. You can proceed.
Yes, ma'am. One small clarification. Can you see my PPT?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible and also it is visible.
Okay. Just I need to check if you are able to see the next transition of the slides.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Done. Just a minute, sir. Yeah. So good afternoon, one and all present over here. So it gives me a great pleasure in accepting your invitation and presenting our research paper for the last 1.5 years. Okay, this paper has been done for last at the start of the COVID. Now COVID is already slowly moving out of the country or the world. So this was pertaining to the industrial training programs or the internship programs what is offered by the colleges. So I'm not sure how many participants here have guided the internship students. Ma'am, one question before I start. How much time do I have for this presentation? 20 minutes or 25?
You can proceed, sir. 25 minutes, you can proceed.
Ah, okay, ma'am. No, because I have kept it short because the time was like 2:30 to 3, so I kept it for only 20 minutes. So I'll try to
It's
finish
okay,
it
sir. You
by
can
20
continue.
minutes.
You can continue. You can
Thank
continue.
you. Thank you so much.
You can elaborate
Yeah.
your work.
Okay, okay. No, I will not be elaborating well because it's an afternoon and it's Friday, so I'll keep it short. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm not
please,
sure how many,
please.
yeah, I'm not sure how many of the speakers or the participants over here have trained or have monitored the internship students. Can I get some responses on that? If you have guided any students over the last 2 years or last 10 years, 5 years over your career period? Because it will give me an idea of where to start and how to start because I don't have to get into the details of internship. Anybody who's new to
Sir, all the
internship or they
participants.
don't know. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, all the participants, they can listen your presentations through YouTube live link, sir.
Ah, okay. So I will not be able to get the
They are
response.
viewing
Fine.
your
So,
presentations. If any questions it will get, we will forward.
okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, ma'am. So this particular topic started when we started to have the students going out to the industry for the internship. So there was a lot of issues between the industry and the institution, the educational institutions, because the curriculum is based purely on the theoretical model, and the industry they want the experience for the graduates when they come and join the work. So this internship program was basically built based on that understanding or the memorandum of understanding between the institution and the industry. So we try to give or produce the work skill based on the industrial need. And the it's to be honest, as a teaching fraternity, we have to admit that the modules or the courses what we teach is on the other side, and the route or the professional or the industrial requirement is on the other side. So we had this problem when we were sending our students to the training programs in the industry. There was like a lot of, at the end of the semester, we used to get a meeting with the HR of the industry, where we used to get a lot of grievances, or you can say complaints, telling that okay, the students have knowledge but they don't know have the practical application of that knowledge. There was a lot of things which were like not in sync with the industrial need. So that's what started this. And with the COVID coming into picture, we had a very big transition from the normal traditional classroom teaching where we used to give the students about the orientation about the industry, how to be in the industry, how to work in the industry. And suddenly it all like went haywire and we started online classes. And that is where we got this idea of creating a student-centered remote learning through online mode or hybrid mode, which was pertaining to the industrial requirements for the job skills or the skill set. So with this introduction, I'll move on to the next one, which is the contents. I just have three pages of the core content. The introduction part, what is internship program and what is our model or the student-centered learning framework, SERL. So now, as I spoke to you about this, the expectation from the industry. So what does the employers expect from the new graduates who are graduating out of the college and getting into the work industry? So we had a lot of debate, or we had a lot of discussion with the HR or the industry people when we sent our students from our colleges to the industry. And the major issue, what we found out in this paper was like the challenges was for us to find out the training skill set for the internship students, even though they are eligible for the internship, like in the fourth semester or in the third semester, at the end of the third semester or at the end of the fourth semester, they were not ready for the industry to go into the industry to work, to learn, because they were in the mode of a student. They were like waiting for their graduation to be getting completed. Because in Oman, in the college where I'm teaching, we have 8 semesters. So at the end of the third semester, we have the internship program or the summer internship program, and there are credit hours which they have to complete before they can get into the uh, internship program. So that's where the trouble started, and that's what gave an idea for us to start working on this paper. And the second thing was when we had the interactions with the industrial organizations, we used to get a lot of grievances. The organizations, they were not able to provide what the student wanted, or the student was not interested in taking up what the industry was offering. The domain was not matching, basically. So plus we had this online courses where everybody like started online, Google Meet, Zoom, WebEx, you name any online tool, they were teaching through that mode. And it became more and more difficult for us to monitor, guide, mentor, to train them for that industry, the skill set what was needed. So that's when we started working on this model of the student-centered remote learning model for the industry-based internship programs. So this framework talks about upskilling the students' competencies to make them as a workforce-ready graduates. And still, we are working on that model, and we have many challenges which are in our model. Okay, to be honest, this paper is just a beginning of that snowball or the big ball which is to be set rolling, because there are a lot of areas which have to be plugged in. We know that, but still we are working on this paper. So this is just an introduction paper, or the, you can say, like the first part of a major big problem. Okay, so with this introduction, I'll get into our the paper. So as most of the audience, I'm not sure whether you are teachers or students. So there are a lot of challenges what is in an internship program. The first problem what we identified is the specialization problem from the industry side. So you are eligible for industrial training or for internship. You apply for the company and the company rejects your application because they don't have the domain in which you are asking for internship. The second one is most of the companies, they are worried about their privacy of the data. Privacy of the data in the sense, when you employ or when you get into the company as an IT professional or as an IT teacher, when we send the students for internship program, they are allowed to access the databases. So there is a lot of confidential information which is there in the database, and it's very difficult for them to monitor you. And the third one is the work side problem which comes from the industry. Like you are working for 8 hours, the mentors or the guides who are in the industry, They are working from 8 hours or 10 hours, and usually there is a grievance telling that we don't want extra load. We don't want to train anybody who's coming into the job or into the internship. So, like, there are people who do not agree to mentor or to monitor or to facilitate the internship students. Resource adequacy, and resource adequacy deals with the challenges of the resource allocation in the company or in the industry. Along with that, we found that our institutions or the educational institutions also have problems. What are the problems? Identifying the training opportunities near the institution. Because most of the students, when they select an industry or when they select an institution, they prefer it to be in their local hood or in their geographically, which is very close. So they need to find an industry which works or which is very close to them. And it's usually not that case. Like if you talk about your job, you might be traveling 10 kilometers or 5 kilometers or 15 kilometers for the job. For a person who's working for like 5 years, 10 years, you have a vehicle, you have a car, you have a two-wheeler, it's not a big problem. But students, when they are in their graduation, they are not affordable, they cannot afford a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, and they need to take a public transportation. It takes time. So there are a lot of problems in identifying the industries and joining them. Second one is, as I mentioned earlier, the domain problem. Domain problem is where the student is like trying. Uh, hello, ma'am, your voice is not clear.
Sorry,
Hello.
no,
Have you shared your PPT, sir?
No, can you
Yes,
share
ma'am.
your PPT?
we are not getting any PPT slides. We are
Now,
just
sir?
yeah, now it is okay.
Now it is visible, sir.
Okay, ma'am. That's why first, in the first, it was visible, right? At the starting of the seminar, it was. Is it all right now? Can I continue?
Yeah, please continue, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Lakshmi, ma'am, there is some problem with your mic. I'm getting a jarring sound from your speaker. Yes, ma'am. So the third problem or the third challenge what we identified was the monitoring of students. When the students are working in the industry, we don't know whether they are really going to that industry and doing the training programs, because we get the forms signed by the supervisors or by the internship guides from the industry. We get that, but that's just a document or a paper which can be done by anybody in the organization. We really do not know whether the student goes into the industry, goes into the program to train or to get that knowledge. So this was a major problem with the monitoring of the graduation, what we call as the internship evaluation process. Now, this evaluation process also had a difficulty where when we are evaluating, we did not understand what the organization was doing to that student, because they come and give a report, they do the viva and all these things, but still we were not sure of whether that evaluation was like 100% successful or efficient, because the industries what they are training to the students, they come and present, or they are the face of that industrial training program. So what they say, we believe and we start to evaluate. So if the student is very good in English, in speaking or in the presentation skills, he'll get good marks. The one who was not able to present well will be getting low marks. So that was the problem in the evaluation. And the major issue what has been happening or is happening and will happen is the paid and the fake opportunities, where companies are floated. There are like virtually many industries which are floated on paper, and there are many institutions. I'm sorry to say this, but there are many companies which are offering you free internship, or you pay some money and you get your certificate and you get your documentation ready from the industry or from the companies, the virtual companies which are there. So this was our major challenges, and this is what prompted us to go for the student-centered remote learning, the proposal, which is purely based on the MOOC style or massive open online courses. So there are many online courses, like you have Coursera. There are many websites or many what do we call as online courses which are offered. So we proposed that the university starts a massive or a MOOC program for the industrial training, where the student gets the courses or the list of domains, and then based on that, we start to train him on the theoretical part, and then he gets into the industry where it's an hybrid on-site training model. So you train in the industry and you study online. So you are being monitored online, you are being evaluated online, and the industry also has a role to play in forming the course outline or the course content, the presentation. What do they need? So we get the input from the industry and we put it in the online courses. And the faculty, it can be either from the higher education institutions or from the industry, where they train the graduates and their skill sets improve based on that training program. So it's like a hybrid model where they can sit and study at home or they can do it online, and they will be working in the industry like say 6 to 8 hours in a day, or maybe 60 hours in a semester. It depends on the internship program style which is offered by the university or by the college. And the research projects, so you will be doing the documentation, and as usual the evaluation process is through the review of the documentation and the viva voice, which the student or the graduate has to come to the college to do a face-to-face viva, and the project output and what is based on your research. So you can either do it as a research project on that industry, or you can get into the industry, train it, and then you document your process, and then you come and present. So these are the some of the skill sets what we identified if we successfully implement the SARL. So one is experience and the inclusive in the industry. Just give me a minute, yeah. So the multicultural environment in which you're working with many nationalities or with many people from different states, your practical experience in the field of industry, you develop your soft skills, you are exposed to the work ethics, what time you should be coming, and the work ethics of that industry. You share the knowledge, you are exposed to that organization's specialized field of working, whether you want to pursue in your career. So these are some of the benefits of the SERL, or what we assumed to be the benefits of your internship program. So the conclusion, what we found out was purely based on the proposal. So the college or the educational institutions, the higher education institutions, and the internship committees, what is formed. In our college, we have the HR, we have a career guidance department which deals with the industry and the institution relationship. So they are the ones who are going to the industry, finding out the opportunities, having a memorandum of understanding or having an agreement between the students or between the college and the industry. So we can propose, or we can design an automated system which can do that on a online system. So we are looking forward for the institution and the industrial collaboration in a better way. So we are in the early phases of our study, and we have been studying so many institutions and in Oman. Basically, I'm working in Salalah, University of Technology and Applied Science. So we have the industrial areas where we are having the communication with them, and we are trying to get the input and all these things. So that's basically the paper of SERL, the framework and the problems, and we had a lot of challenges in doing this. So the references, what we have done so far. If you have any questions, you can ask, or you can forward me the questions. And if you have any further details, or if you want to have a collaboration with us, the mail IDs are there. So we two are the principal research participants, and Ma'am Malati was like from India. So we got the input from there also. Now, if you have any further questions, or if you want to do further research or collaborate on any projects or any research work, please do drop in a mail to any one of the email IDs. So looking forward to your questions or your contributions. So just note down the email IDs. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions, we can have the questions, or else I'll close my session. Thank you.
Any question?
Mr. Senthil Kumar,
Yes, sir.
nice presentation. But I have
Thank you,
one
sir.
query to clarify.
Yes,
So
sir.
you are telling a hybrid model of conducting internship.
Yes, sir.
So already this IITs and all, they are already conducting some NPTEL courses in India.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So many people are participating, many teaching fraternity as well as students also taking part in that and gaining a lot of knowledge. So you would like
Okay.
to suggest it's the same sort of model even for the internships?
Sir, basically in Oman, what happens is we have still not had that facility where we are doing the online model. So this is purely basically for the Sultanate of Oman. So this is not a generalized model for everyone. So our title will be changing in the future, where it will be pertaining to Oman's educational institutions. I think.
What my point is, our NPTEL courses are even open to the not only to the Indian public, so it's open
Okay.
to the all countries, all students across the globe.
Across the world. Fine.
So people can definitely utilize it.
Sir,
And my question is actually,
yes, sir.
in the internships, there are some courses actually the people need to go to the industry and get some
Yes.
training.
Yeah.
But how can it be possible in the online, except for few
No.
software courses?
No.
I don't think
The
that it can
training.
be possible in the courses of electrical engineering or mechanical engineering,
No,
where
sir.
the student
That's
need
what
to get some good exposure.
Yeah. If you would have noticed that in the proposal, what we have said, it is a purely hybrid model where you study online, but you will be working in the industry, or you will be trained in the industry. You have to go to the industry to get your certification.
Okay.
You cannot skip that part.
Okay. So that means anyhow the student has to go to the industry.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, sir. That's all from my side.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So anybody have any other questions? Okay, sir, other participants are judges. Questions from other participants and judges.
Any questions? Any questions?
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Ah. See, you proposed something, and what is your expectation? As per your view, how much will be the impact on the students?
Sir, if you are asking a question, what will be the impact of our research work on students? It depends
Yes.
on the student's interest domain and the industry
No.
need. Yes,
No,
sir.
that's okay. See, how much you are expecting from your research work? What do you expect?
No, I don't understand your question. What do you mean by expectation? You are expecting
See,
the percentage wise, or
you see the impact of your research work on students. What do you expect?
okay. Sir, this is not only for the students. This is for the institution in which I'm working. So if we can automate that process, the college will be 100%. It will be using it 100%. But for the students' point of view, I don't think so. My research paper is. It will identify the skill sets, what is needed for him. We can give an outcome, or we can say the objective of our proposal is that you will get this. But eventually, at the end of the day, the student is the one who will say, okay, I got this. So this is just an proposal for the college to start an automation process of the industry internship training programs. So my answer for your question will be the student will be getting nothing out of my research paper. The institution will gain from it. That's all. And it's my personal interest for that. That's all.
Okay.
Any questions from the other judges?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So next person, Dr. Praveen Kumar, please present.
PPT is visible, ma'am.
So not visible. So it is not visible. Mr. Praveen Kumar, can
Yes,
you?
yes. Yes, sir. I'm sharing the PPT, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you guide me to for share the PPT, sir?
ఇది వెళ్ళిపోతే ఉంటుంది అనుకుంటా లేదంటే
Your voice is not clear, ma'am.
So Praveen Kumar sir, are you having any problem with your presentation?
I have the presentation with me, but I'm not able to share it, sir. Can you guide me, sir?
So I think there is a share bottom. You can observe that
Yeah,
there is
yeah.
a share button is there.
Yes, yes. I have clicked it, but it's showing that Windows and Chrome tabs.
From that Windows, you go for your, I think again your presentation file must be there. In that file, you click on that file.
I haven't found any files, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, have you logged in through mobile?
Yes, yes, sir.
So you want to share your PPT through mobile?
I have logged in with the two devices, system and mobile, sir. Both.
Yeah. Can you please tell me that what is the name of your system?
System is Bankar Praveen Kumar.
Yes, already we made a presenter, sir. You just go and click on the share. between the start video next to that, there will be a share video, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Share option. You just share and screen one. You click on share one, screen
Yes, sir.
and share. Kinda option. Just click on share. Yes, we are able to. Hello,
Yes, sir.
sir. Your system was logged out, Mr. Vinod Kumar.
Yes, sir.
We made you presenter. Yeah, you try again. Click on share.
To upload to screen and application to
Yeah,
files
you
I
just
can.
click on the screen, sir. You just click
Screen.
on screen
Okay, sir.
and share. On the bottom, there will be share and cancel. You just click on the share. Then we will be able to see your screen. Yes, we are able to see your screen, sir. Now
Yes,
just
sir.
open your PPT. Not stop sharing, sir. Just open your PPT. By that we will see your. Already, I think it is there. Yes. Keep in the
Is it
presentation
visible,
mode, sir.
Keep
That in the presentation mode.
Now is it visible, na, sir?
Yes, we are able to see your screen, sir. And your PPT is
Thank you.
there. Just keep that in the presentation mode.
Okay. Good afternoon, one and all. I'm Praveen
Please
Kumar.
put it in the presentation mode. Mr. Praveen Kumar, please put it in the presentation mode, or if you press it on F5. Press it on F5. Yes. Now
Yes,
it
sir.
is
We are
okay.
able to see.
Okay, sir. Today my presentation topic is rating the quality in
Yeah,
higher
now it's
education.
okay.
Okay, sir. Rating the quality in higher education. How do we rate the higher education qualities? Abstract is, as a faculty of colleges and university in India, the
Please put
major
it-
components of
Mr.
their
Praveen
career
Kumar,
advice
please put
in
it in the
academic
presentation.
performance. It
Mr.
also
Praveen
indicates.
Kumar,
Yes, sir.
please put it in the presentation mode. Yes, continue.
Yeah, as a faculty of all colleges and universities in India, the major component of their career advice is academic performance. It also indicates the rate of quality of higher education. So it has become the regulation of standard in higher education. And in this paper, I'm going to explain you the few points. Those are the standard of quality in higher education and whether it meets all the guidelines of standards, whether the performance of the teacher in the higher education is quantifiable, whether the quality of the higher education is static available, and the last one is, as per the UGC regulation, the minimum qualification for appointment of academic staff in universities and colleges are also maintaining the standard in higher education. These are the points which I am going to present in this presentation. First of all, let us discuss about the quality of higher education, one of the goals. So now the present days, the quality education is one of the biggest goal that has been rule kept by the UGC. The main issue of the higher education in India has been approach to the quality. The quality, accessibility, and affordability. This is the very first 5 year plan to at least 65th meet of CBSE in 2018. According to the goal has said to improve the employability of youth in between the age of 18 to 23 and increase the enrollment in higher education to 30 by 2030 And by the 2030, the CABE has kept the goal that 1 crore of the skilled employees should be provided. And also the forward with the same plan in 11th 5-year plan, which has not significantly programmed after completion of 12th plan. The plan period, this could be of many reasons. One of them could be the filtering of politics from one level to another level. And after these rules, the UGC has many rules and schemes on the qualities. Those rules and schemes are SAP. SAP means Special Assistance Programming, and UPE, University with Potential of Excellency. CPEPA, Central with Potential of Excellency in particular area. Why these rules has been kept by the UGC? The main purpose of this scheme is to develop the infrastructure for research. Nowadays, the research is the one of the main important we can go an important goal that this, as the research develops in the university, it is also one of the point to we should consider for the rating of the university. A few schemes provide the guide for faculties for development programs, faculty research programs, and also for some research projects, etc. All the schemes are development for the teachers in the university. All these schemes which has been kept by the rule UGC, the main purpose is development of the faculty profile, research projects, and also development of the we can say research in the university level and institutes level. And this scheme, how this scheme has been reached to the various levels. At the UPE program, it has been reached only the 2%. And for the CPE, it has been reached by 0.4%. And CPEPA, it has been reached to 2.64%. At the SAP program, it has been reached to 816 departments. And for the autonomous colleges, it has been reached to 1.42%. For the NAC assessment colleges, it has been reached to 20.9%. And for the NAC assessment universities, it has been reached to 51.94%. And the research project of either it is minor or a major project, it has been reached only 0.1%. And the next two, the 12th plan period.
Kumar.
Sorry?
Mr. Praveen Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I think we have a problem. Yeah, now your voice is clear. Please continue.
The next is about the NAC body. Why the NAC? What is NAC and why it has major role for ranking the university? NAC, National Assessment and Accreditability Council. It's also considered assessment and for the higher education institutions. That is also known as HEI, such as colleges, universities, or other recognized institutes to derive an undergoing of the quality status of the institute. This NAC body has been established in the year of 1994. Later on in 2012, it has become the body which will give check the quality assurance of the universities and the institutes and whether all other academic institutes. The NAC functions to check the quality cells in all the universities and verify the cell is coordinate all the activities of the university and maintaining and record of individual staff performance appraisals of each faculties. It also guides the faculty members to improve the activity and quality. The main role of this cell is to upload all the university reports in their website of their plan and development activities. As a result, it helps to increase the grade point of quality assurance this is eligible for enhancing the funding. The main purpose of this NAC is to rate the individual institutes or universities, whatever it is, and to maintain their they are maintaining the reports, whether they are maintaining the individual faculty reports, giving the appraisals, and maintaining all the activities which are on rules which has been kept by the UGC. The next body is IQAC, which stands for Internal Quality Assurance Cells. This body also plays a major role to maintain the standard status of the universities or institutes or colleges. This body has the six major focus on the six major points. Those are: first is academics, second one is research and development, third one is placements and progressions, fourth is faculty, fifth is students, and sixth is equipments and maintenance. Under these six, each body has their own main specification. In academics, there are nearly sub points like what academics should maintain. In academics, it comes programs offered by the universities and the student admissions. Faculty student exchange programs also will come under this academics, and department committee meetings and HOD meetings, SRP conducted, etc. All these points will be come under this academics, and this academic point has to cover all this, and this how to maintain on a monthly basis. Next is research and development. This research and development covers that PhD awarded in the university or in a department, particular department, a number of PhD faculties and faculty research availabilities, patents in the particular department. This research and development point will cover all these sub points and how to maintain on a monthly basis. Next is placement and progressions. In this placement and progressions, this will cover the students' placement activities, whether the students are placed in a reputed organization or reputed industries, and the training placement classes has been conducted or not, and the standard higher education, whether if the student have to go willing to go to the higher education, we have to, as a faculty members, have to guide the student for the higher education purpose. The next is the faculties. In these faculties, it covers the teaching and non-teaching faculties. This faculty point will cover all the details of the faculties and non-teaching faculties, and also it will cover the workshop, seminar, guest lecture that has been attended by the faculties from the various institutes or universities and colleges, and any online courses covered by the faculties, awarded fellowships on any award has been given from the public body or by the private body. The next, we talk about the students. The students has the committee meetings in the university levels, like sports committee, library committee, transport, and also like canteen committee, etc. All this should be conducted on a monthly or quarterly basis. The next, it also covers the conference, workshop, seminar that has been attended by the student. And also the NCC and NSS has also will be covered in this point. The next is equipment and managements. This covers all the infrastructures of the university, institutes and colleges. It also checks the number of classrooms that has been presented in the university level, number of systems available, laboratory and forms available. The next, we'll talk about the minimum qualification for appointment of academic staff in university level. What's the minimum qualification that is required is 55% of postgraduate from the requirement of teacher or PhD program in universities or colleges. A person whose MPhil thesis has been evaluated and Viva voice is pending may admit to the PhD program of the same institute. And one more, as a note, I have mentioned that if a particular faculty has been awarded PhD degree before 2019, he or she may not record the net and set, and they can be appointed for as an assistant professor, equivalent position in the university level. Then next is that UGC guidelines for selection of assistant professor. What is the process? This is a new process established by the UGC in 2022. What is the main process? What is the process of selecting an assistant professor? First is that Vice Chancellor shall be the chairperson of the selection committee. The next is, if required, an academician can be nominated by the visitor or chancellor. 3 experts of the concerned subject nominated by the Vice Chancellor, whose names are approved by the relevant scrutiny body of the university. Next is, Dean of the concerned faculty is an optional. He can be or he cannot be a panel member. The next is that head chairperson of the department of the school. The next is an academic representing SC, ST, OBC, minority, women, physically handicapped candidates only if any of the above members of the selected committee do not belong to the same category. And last is, at least 4 members, including 2 outsider subject experts, shall consist of quantum. The next, whether the performance of the teacher in the higher education comfortable. First is the students' evaluation of teaching. Teaching are widely used to measure the teachers' quality in higher education and compare it across different courses, teachers, department, and institution index. This student evaluation of teaching are of increasing importance for teacher promotion, declaration, student course selections, as well as for auditing practice demonstration institutional performance. However, surveys report is typically low, remaining this user unwarranted if students who respond to the evaluator are not randomly selected along abused and unabused dimensions. In conclusion, I would like to say that as per the discussion, we would conclude that API, application programming interface, is not a proper method to measure the quality and performance of the teacher and institutes in the higher education sector in India. With the support of the programs and the schemes which has been given by the UGC, the selection sector and the higher education has been changing faster and been well equipped. As per the need, performance of the teacher is flexible and there is a need for relook to concept of the performance appraisal in the higher education sector. Thank you.
Any questions from the audience and also judges? Any questions, sir? Sir, am I audible?
Mr. Vinod Kumar, Vinod or Praveen?
Sir, Praveen, sir.
Okay. Right. So how the overall rating of an education institution will be given? There are
Sir,
about
it-
in the higher education institutions also, there are private universities, there are deemed universities, there are affiliated colleges, there are autonomous colleges. So will there be any deviation in procedure for evaluating or rating an institution, or whether common procedure is to be adopted for all these?
That there will be a common procedure for all the bodies, and the main concept NAC will check all the IQAC reports, whether they are updating on a monthly basis or quarterly basis or yearly basis. They will verify all the details as per the standards which they have been implemented by the UGC.
See, even in the NIRF ranking also, so
Yes, sir.
IIScs, IITs, and all other affiliated colleges are just taken into on the same rating. So that is the reason why always in the top 10, you will always find IITs and NITs only, where there is a lot of research possible. But whereas in the private colleges, where hardly any MTech course is provided, because there are some marks allocated for the post graduation, there are more allocated for the PhD students, and the students awarded PhD. All these have some weightages. So naturally, the private college will not be having. So I don't think that the same rating can be given. It is my personal opinion, but anyhow, the NIRF is adopting a different policy. But what you propose, you want to have a same procedure for all institutions?
No, sir, because the university can award the PhDs, but at the institute level, they won't award the PhD. So if we keep the same rules to the institutes and universities, obviously the ranking of the institute will go down when compared to the universities and all. So there should be a slight change when goes to the institutes and autonomous body. There should be a slight change when they are ranking and when they are checking all these criteria like PhDs and PhD awards and this IQHE files, sir.
This one,
No, you made that conclusion or proposal in
this
your
one,
paper. So, your theme is how to rate an institution, no? So your
No, sir,
theme
universities,
is, your
sir.
paper is
University
rating
level.
the quality in higher education.
Yes, yes, sir.
So that is what my question is: how you can consider IITs and private universities or deemed universities and affiliated colleges on the same line or on the same scale, or rather, have you suggested any model for that?
So I'm suggesting that we should not consider all the deemed universities or private universities and the institute on the same parameters, sir.
No. So in the oral presentation you are saying, but I think in your paper you have not proposed that, right?
On the hurry basis, as few points has been left in my paper, sir. I have not mentioned it.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all from my side, sir.
so Mr. Praveen Kumar,
Yes, sir.
so you are telling that one the universities all it is are producing PhDs. Correspondingly, the general institutions don't producing the PhDs. That's what you are claiming.
Yes, sir.
So correspondingly, the marks will be there differently. So the appraisal form for universities or for anywhere it is the same. So appraisal form for an assistant professor or associate professor, whatever may be, the standard format has been given by UGC.
Yes, sir.
So that is applicable to everywhere. So what way you are making a difference?
Sir, I just want to make a difference that the institutes and the autonomous bodies will not able to give the PhDs on the yearly basis number of PhD candidates. So the universities can provide the PhD candidates. So if we give the ratings on the same parameter on this research basis, this institutes and autonomous body will get the less points when compared to the universities.
No,
So
any
there should be a slight difference on their rating of this research point of view, sir?
Research point of view, if you take it as either universities or anywhere, the lecturer should, lecturer with assistant professor should have certain procedure that has been given for the appraisal form. So whether it's the university or anywhere, it is the same. So just to produce the PhDs only is not a criteria. I think
There are other criteria also, but the institute can follow other criteria, not.
Yes. No. You can observe that one. The universities is a format is different from the autonomous college, again different from the general colleges. The format itself is different.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So thank you for your presentation. Anybody, other participants or judges can have any doubts or any questions?
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Praveen Kumar garu.
Thank you, ma'am.
As per the schedule, there is one more participant, but his laptop is not working, so that's why he asked us to change the schedule. So tomorrow he will present his paper. So that's all for today's session. We will meet you in the tomorrow's session, and I thank all the members of the paper presenters, all the judges, Dr. Sivanagay garu. Thank you for our invitation to accept
What about the paper
invitation,
4?
sir.
Last paper?
And sir, paper
Madam, can we leave now,
4,
madam?
his laptop is not working, sir. So that's why he asked. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So okay.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, wait a minute.
Okay, madam. Thank you. We can leave. Okay.
We will continue. Yes, we will continue in the tomorrow session, sir. Tomorrow session, it will start at 10 o'clock, sir.
Okay.
10 o'clock in the same link, sir. And also I thank the Dr. B.L. Prakash garu to accept our invitation, and Jagan Mohan Rao garu, please, thank you, sir, to accept our invitation. We will meet you in the tomorrow session at 10 o'clock, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You can leave, sir. Thank you.